Hi, today I'm here to talk with you about the Trecena of Akabal. As you can tell, it's a little bit of a different place to where I might normally be. I hope this will work for it. So the Trecena of Akabal, what is it all about? What can we expect? And how might be the best ways that we can use the energies of those days to make an improvement to the lives of ourselves and our family and the people around us? Well, the Trecena of Aq'ab'al could be seen as being a time of new concepts, about bringing new concepts into play, about bringing new concepts into the world. Aq'ab'al being the dawn and the dusk, it's about the transition from light to dark or dark to light. So we could really be seeing this as being the revelation of something which has been hidden, the revelation of something maybe you've been mulling it over, you've been keeping it in the dark for a while. Now it's time to bring it out. This is like the first light. You know, when we see the numbers, talking about 1, talking about 7, we see the first and the last. And when I was talking about 7 Akabal, I was talking about the end of the twilight, when the first ray of the sunlight pierces the horizon. 1 Akabal is kind of the opposite. You know, I don't know what time the twilight starts for you right now. Depend on where we are in the world, of course. But for me, usually it starts around about 4:30 a.m. And what this can mean is that we start to see the sky turn blue from black. The beginning of astronomical twilight. We first know that that new day is coming, that that new concept is coming. And so for me, this could be very representative of 1 Aq'ab'al. This is the beginning of a new concept. This is something which is yet to be fully formed. This is something which is very much in its preliminary stages. The merest hint of something new coming. The merest hint of a new concept coming in. And so 1 Aq'ab'al may be a day where you receive a message through a dream. Now, I'm recording this on the day 13 Iyq, of course, the day before 1 Aq'ab'al, the day of communication from the ancestors. And so, when we see 1 Aq'ab'al coming in, maybe there is a communication that comes to us from spirit, from the ancestors. Maybe that's what's fueling this dream. When you wake up with an idea in your head, you wake up with a new understanding, a new concept of the way that things could be, the way that things might be. And it's time to reveal that just into your own little world. Now, maybe there is some assistance which is needed with it. We often think of like the 1 as being needing kind of like some nurture, needing to be looked after in order to bring it further into the world. And if we see Aq'ab'al as conception, then obviously it's going to need to gestate for a while before it can be useful for us. So it's like the first conception, the first moment of something new that you can bring in, something new that you're taking from the dream world into the real world, from the dream world into your world, in order to develop, and nurture, and nourish, and grow. From 1 Aq'ab'al, we're then going into 2 Kat. So, Kat, the Nawal of the net, of choosing what you want to carry with you, of lightening your load in this new concept, in order to make it grow, in order to implant it, in order to nourish it, what are you going to need and what can you let go of? Kat is always, for me, about making these decisions, about what are our burdens and what are our blessings, and seeing what we actually want to carry with us, because maybe we don't need to carry our burdens with us anymore. And maybe there are some blessings which, now that they have done their task, now that their time is over, it's time to allow them to move on. It's time to let them out of our net, to release ourselves from them and to release them from us. 2 Kat may bring that into a very stark kind of reality, because the 2 is kind of like, it can be very black and white, can be very polarized. And so you might see with very, very high contrast, okay, this is useful, this is not useful. It could be a day kind of like almost to be a bit ruthless with really what you want to keep or what you want to let go of from your net. There's, kind of like, sometimes you might have this kind of like yes, no, and maybe piles. Or two cat might just be the yes and no piles. It's like this I'm keeping, that one I'm letting go of. There's the division. It might become very obvious, like the difference between night and day, as to what you're going to need to keep in your net in order to help you to bring this new concept into being. From two cat, we're then going into three can. Now, again, as we are bringing this new concept in, obviously we're going to need a spark of life coming from can. Obviously we're going to need some wisdom in order to bring that in. And so as such, this could be seen as coming from three can. Three can, the wisdom, the spark of life which comes from inside of us. And so three can is a great day to be looking for that. But the three, sometimes we can talk about it representing obstructions or blockages, and it might represent them if we try looking around ourselves for that power or for that wisdom. Three can is very much more about recognizing the power and wisdom that you're already carrying within you. You're looking for some advice, you're looking for some understanding, you're looking for some wisdom on how to develop this new concept into the world. Look within, because that's where your power will be on three can. It may also represent, because can represent the teacher, and so we might be looking for the teacher within. Can also represent seduction and illusions. And sometimes those illusions are our own. They are the illusions that we have about ourselves, about our ideas. And of course, as we bring in this one Aq'ab'al, as we bring in this new concept, we need this new concept to really be planted in a place where we have no illusions. And so three can could give an excellent day to turn your perception inwards, to understand the illusions that you might hold within you. From three can, we're then going into four Kame. So Kame, the Nawal of death, Kame, the Nawal of fright and fears, and transformation. The transformation that comes from overcoming our fears, from moving through them. Now what are these fears and where are these fears? Well, the four, the physical plane of existence, might suggest that these might be those things that we come up against on a daily basis, those things that kind of give us a little fright. And so for Kame is a great day to be facing them, a great day to be getting over your physical fears, your fears that occur in the material plane, because again, you're bringing this new concept into existence. You've got to rid yourself of your fears first. You've got to let them go so that you can move forward, so that you'll have the transformational power to help it to move forward. Now, the four and Kame can also represent physical ancestors. So this is a great day to be, kind of like getting in touch with your physical ancestors. Should you need some assistance on how to move through your fears, also should you need some assistance of how to bring that new concept into reality, new concept into existence. From four Kame, we're then going into five Keej. So Keej, the Nawal of the wilderness, the Nawal of greenness. Well, I tried to find some greenness here. It's quite nice actually. And Keej, the one that connects us with the natural world, the one that connects us with the trees and the mountains, the one that connects us with the wisdom of nature and the understanding and the strength and the power that come from nature. And then here we see it with the number five. The number five, the one hand representing putting our energy into it, putting our work into it. So here with five Keej, what we can see is that if we go and make the effort, then we will be repaid. And that effort, what's that about? Well, this is about going for a walk in the woods. This is about going and getting in contact with nature, going and working with nature. Because, you may be looking out the window and maybe the sky's a bit grey and you think to yourself, well, I'm not sure whether I really want to go out hiking today or something like that. Well, on a 5 Keej day, it would really suggest that your energy and your choice to put your energy into that will really be paid off. So if you have the opportunity, if you have the time to get out and spend some time in nature, it would be very much well worth your expenditure on a 5 Keej day. Really reconnect with the natural world. From 5 Keej, we're then going into 6 Kanil. 6 Kanil, perhaps one of the most fortunate days of the calendar. Anil representing yellowing, representing brightening, representing maturing. And the number 6 representing not just the physical plane this time, but the connection above and below. The number 6 representing the ultimate stability. So this brings the ultimate stability to the ripening process, the ultimate stability to this abundance that comes when your corn ripens, when your harvest is done. So 6 Kanil, we see a very, very nice stable number with Kanil, which could be seen as a very fortunate, very pleasant Nawal to be carrying. We could see that if you're trying to get your garden planted this year, if you're in the northern hemisphere and spring is very well and truly here, maybe it's the time to get your seeds in the ground. And 6 Kanil, this is a wonderful day for all your garden work. This is a wonderful day to get your seeds in the ground, for them to receive the blessings of Kanil, to bring it to a ripe, abundant harvest. And so if you have the opportunity to do that, that would be wonderful. Now, Kanil, the way that I see it is we don't all plant our seeds in the ground anymore. Sometimes now our seeds are, we don't all have gardens. And so maybe you're planting the seed of a project, maybe it's this seed, this concept of Akabal that is being planted. Well, here on 6 Kanil, this again is where we can ask for Kanil to bring it to its full ripeness. From 6 Kanil, we're then going into 7 Toch, the final payment. So we have the number 7 representing endings, representing the top, the peak of the pyramid, the peak of the mountain, and Toch representing debts, offerings, payments. So the Toch is the day when we're going to give back, when we're going to make our sacred fire, when we're going to light a candle, when we're going to give back for what we have received. The number 7 representing endings, well, this is kind of like the final payment, right? This is the end of the debt. This is suggesting that the payments that you make today, that what you choose to give today, could have a long-lasting and resounding effect on anything that you might have had outstanding. So if you have got something to finish paying off, the opportunity to do it on 7 Toch would be really rather perfect. 7 Toch can end up giving you the absolute clean slate. It's a day to serve, it's a day to give in whatever way, shape or form you can. This is the day to make your offering, to finalize anything that you might have been carrying, to finally be able to drop any debts that you might have been carrying. From 7 Toch, we're then going into 8 Tzi. So Tzi, the Nawal of faith and loyalty and justice and law. Tzi, the Nawal of the vices too. So as I sit here on 13 Ik, on the final day of the Tzi Trecena, we started that on 1 Tzi. We started that with the beginning of faith, beginning of loyalty, beginning of something, some new choices with regards to faith, loyalty and guidance. On 8 Tzi, we're coming around to seeing it in totality. Now, Tzi means dog. And Sometimes we might see our dogs and they're our faithful friends. They're these loving, loyal beings which are around us. And if you have dogs, you might wonder what you would do without your dog, right? It's kind of impossible to imagine them not being there. They're your companions. They're like part of your family. And then once in a while, your dog goes off and, I don't know, rolls on something disgusting or something like that. And that moment in time, you wonder why, why? What's this even doing? Why is it here? Well, for one reason or another, your dog can't just resist that. And this is the temptation. This is the kind of like the vices of the dog, right? We know that 350 days a year, that dog is by our side, that dog is our companion, and then once in a while just something gets in its head and it goes and does something disgusting or gross or like out of character. And then it comes back, usually with its tail between its legs. It knows what it's done. It comes back and it gives them eyes. And we can't help but forgive it, right? Well, the reason why I mention all of this is because for me, 8Z is embracing all of that. It's embracing that unconditional love. It's embracing that the vices as well as the faith, as well as the loyalty. And this is what we might see. We're seeing it as a whole. We're understanding it as a whole. That, like, I could say, well, nobody's perfect in a way, kind of like that. It's all part of it. You can't have keen senses without those senses being overridden by what tempts you from time to time. And so the only way to really work with those senses, the only way to really train your senses, is to accept, yes, they guide me in the right direction. Yes, they show me when danger might be around. They show me what's edible and what's edible. But they're also the driver of my vices. And so on 8Z, all of this might become apparent. It might become apparent, where your vices lie. But they are kind of like sometimes maybe an integral part of that which brings you unconditional love, or that which guides you. And so for me, 8Z could be seen as a day to give thanks for all of it, to give thanks for what you learn from each of those things, to give thanks for the totality, the wholeness of the dog, as it were, or of the Tzi energy. It's also a great day, it's kind of, if you have any legal matters to do, then Tzi days are generally good for them. 8Z would be an exceptionally good day to be working with legal matters. Because the 8, we kind of see this wholeness come, like it's a completion, it's a wholeness, it's a totality. So that for me would be a wonderful day to do legal work. From 8Z, we're then going into 9 bats, Belached bats. Bats representing the weaver, bats representing the creator. Bats bringing things together, bringing together the warp and the weft of the loom to create, to bring a new kind of weaving. And here we see it with the number 9, the number which represents the divine feminine, the number which represents women. And, Belached bats, we often see women's weaving cooperatives around the lake called Belached bats. I mean, it's literally the weaving of the women. And so this is a hugely important day for feminine creativity. But what's possibly as interesting as that is that we have started in 1 Aq'ab'al, and now we've got to 9 bats. So the number 9 can also be seen as the number of life. And so this is literally the weaving of life. This is following 1 Aq'ab'al, first conception. Now we are weaving life with 9 bats. So this is a great day to bring your creativity to life. This is a great day to be co-creating with women, of course. But 9 bats again is one of those sweet days, is one of those days where you really put your life's creation together. So anything that you want to be doing artistically, creatively, Belahad Bats is a wonderful day to be working on it. Put your life into it. From 9 bats, we're then going to go into 10 So the nawal of the road, the nawal of the path. The nawal of the journey, of exploration. And here we see it with the number 10. Walking hand in hand, going on a journey together. What a great day to be making a cooperative journey, right? If you got if you got a road trip with a buddy that you've always wanted to make, then 10 might be the wonderful day to do it. Of course, wherever you're going, wherever you're exploring, this is also kind of, for me, 10 could be seen as the exploration of society, the exploration of community. And so it's a great day to be looking into anthropology and social sciences, as it were, to explore those. But for me, days are days to get out. Days are days to really take a journey and go and explore the world around you. And here it's suggesting, do it with friends, do it with your community. The 10, we're all linking hands together and going together to find out something new. From 10 we're then going into 11 Ach. 11 Ach, so Ach, the nawal of the home. Ach, the nawal of the cornstalk. Ach, the nawal of our spinal columns, holding us up straight and tall. And here we see it with the number 11. We see it with the number, which represents moving in different directions, which represents taking a different path. Ach is here to bring harmony to our community. Ach is here to bring harmony to our homes. And what we could see is that there are many different ways of doing this. And sometimes we kind of get stuck in a rut, right? We kind of like keep trying to apply the same fix to everything. Because, well, it worked last time and it worked the time before that, so let's keep going with it. The 11 is suggesting, go look somewhere else. Go off on a tangent. Go somewhere where you haven't been before or what you haven't seen before. And try to use that to bring harmony into your community. Try to use that as a solution to bring harmony into your home. It's about going and discovering other things. Maybe it's about going and discovering other places where you feel at home. But 11 Ach, you know, it's kind of an interesting combination because you have Ach, which is, you know, Ach is very steady nawal. It's here to be with its people. It's here to be with its family. It's here to be at home. And then you have the 11, which is going around all over the place, which is going in many different directions. And so they almost seem kind of like quite conflicting, those two together in a way. But I think that 11 is really saying to right, okay, yes, it is time to go out and explore a bit. It's time to go and explore something which is outside of your normal reality, outside of your normal home. Because it's only through that kind of evolution and development you're going to really be able to bring true peace into your home. From 11 Ach, we're then going into 12 Ish. So Ish, the nawal of the sacred sites, the nawal of the sacred within. Ish, our connection with Mother Earth. And here we see it with the number 12, all of our life's experiences. This would be a wonderful day to review the experiences which may have happened with you, the experiences that you may have had on sacred sites in the past, throughout your life. It may be asking you to understand what the life experience that you carry and how the life experience that you carry can do for Mother Earth. How you can look after her through what you've learned, through what you've experienced. How you can be that guardian of nature, of Mother Earth. How you can be that guardian of the shrines through using what you learn, through your work, through your social life, through your experiences. How can you put that into action? How can you help? We can also see this being as a day where we're having that review of the sites that we've been to. We're looking at it and wondering, thinking about the changes that might have happened to us, about what Mother Earth gave to us, how we connected with her through different sacred sites throughout our life journey. 12 Ish is a great day to be wrapping up all of your life experiences, understanding it all, and understanding how it brings you closer to the sacred, how it brings magic into your life. And then finally, we're going to end up on 13 Tz'ikin. So 13 Tz'ikin could be seen as an extremely powerful and very interesting day. We have Tz'ikin, the visionary. Tz'ikin, the one who's flying high. The one who's bringing down the message from the heart of the sky down to the earth. Combined with the number 13, representing spirit and representing the ancestors. Now the first and easy thing for me to say is, well, this is about the vision of the ancestors. Maybe you receive a vision from your ancestors about the work that you could be doing in this lifetime. Maybe spirit is going to communicate a vision with you. For me, this is a very visual day, of course, because it's Tz'ikin, and so we would expect the communication to come visually rather than anything else. So it's a great day to have your eagle eyes open, as it were, to be looking for the signs and signals coming from spirit, coming from the ancestors. They might be all around you, but if you're not aware, if you don't open your eyes, you're not going to see them, right? So 13 Tz'ikin could be a good day for that. It could be a good day to ask spirit for vision. Ask spirit for visual guidance in your world. I see Tz'ikin as the Nawal, which helps us to thrive. And surely this is the day when we may receive an understanding from our ancestors about how it might be best to help us all to thrive. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening today. I hope that this has been interesting for you, and I look forward to seeing you again in 13 days' time for the Trecena.